3, 2, 1, go.
Bob Ross 2.0, fucking Masters of Lowbrow version 3.5. I think we're going to start this painting. This is for a Stanley Kubrick show. So it's all drawn out. This is what we're working with. I always wanted to see Kubrick on a big wheel, so that's where we're going. These are my references. He'll be wearing those, same color. Change this to make it more modern. Didn't have to be Danny. It could just be the younger version of him. Hard to find color pictures, really, at Kubrick, so that'll be fun. Always transferring black and white to color, or vice versa. The color scheme, I just want to keep it dark as possible. I was thinking of having maybe a beam of light coming from the keyhole, but it'll make no sense. The purists will say the door was green or whatever. This is what we're working with right now. So yeah, I already mixed up a flesh tone, but we're gonna mix up just to show you how I do flesh tones. This is the palette, I guess. Violet, like a rose red, white. This was like a pure yellow, but you could make it an Indian yellow, which is even better, I think. It doesn't have to pop, so yellow just pops too much. So it's a orangish yellow, and then an orange, and alizarin crimson. That purple, which is usually a black almost, if you mix it with some red. This is, you can make your own black with alizarin, crimson, and blue. And that's what I did here, which is, I don't know, the tones are always going for, see, it's more of just a purple. I guess if you had blue, it can make it a gray. That to me looks like warmish gray, maybe. And then we could just keep going, make it a colder gray, I guess. So that's what that's for. And you barely ever go to blue, unless someone has blue eyes, or, but anyway. Flesh color is just yellow, purple, a little bit of red, and the more red it gets, the more orangey, purpley you want to get, I guess. And that's how that goes. And so if you add white to it, you'll see where you stand. And so it's a darker flesh tone, just totally winging his flesh tones. And then you could add purple to it and some white in order to get some shadow. But the darkest will probably be that red here. So that's where we're gonna start. Okay. Sometimes just lay down a color and then take white and then just blend it from there. Way too red, but hopefully it will serve its purpose. I want the whole entire thing to be a darker tone, so there's just going to be a lot of grays, no bright lights. So that was like a pre-thought out idea to go in that direction. Because there's a lot of red primaries in this thing, so might as well just go for darker primaries. Fun thing about acrylics is you could lay down that color and it could mean the world to you, or it could mean nothing to you if it just doesn't feel right. Everything is temporary. Nothing is, you know, as long as it's forgivable, cool, but if you could live with it, but still using that same color, that same So there's so much damn pink in this thing that I'm gonna get rid of that shit right now. You figure the yellow pushes it forward, save it for the reflection on his head. That's down. Color, color. Whole thing is winging it, and really just like knowing that reference when you draw it out. That's the best time to learn that reference is when you're drawing it out. Or, you know, most of the decisions are already made way before you even get to painting this. Painting, I just want to paint. I don't want to have to go through this drawing and perfection with the drawing and everything, but you're just totally wasting your time if you haven't figured it out in the drawing itself. Most of the time it's just an illustration, you know. A lot of people would say this is not art, it's an illustration. Oh, sorry, if you're using your hands or whatever your orifice you're holding your brush in, I guess all is forgivable, unless you want to be persnickety about it, you know. So yeah, we got the shadow. He's pinky. It's a good way to start. That way, if he sticks out the most, that's fine. Might as well go dark right now. So that's as light as that gets, and then once you start adding in these blackish, these dark lines of where that goes, everything's just gonna pop. It's best just to work in sections, smaller sections. Just start with that. That's the money shot right there. If we could get that, then the rest could be just pedestrian. Who cares? As long as we get the likeness, the joke. That's the punchline right there, you know. Isn't it fun watching other people paint? This is no Bob Ross, actually, because I'm not as happy and hippie as Bob Ross today. You caught me on one of those days of just getting this thing done. With blues, I guess, or with eyeballs, they're never white, you know. You knew that. Just add in the dark where you want. You figure where there might be a reflection, and you kind of leave that. Most of the time, there's that shadow under the eyelid. And then you take white, your magic white. See him turn into fucking Bob Ross. Everything's got to have a fucking verb before it. Take your magic white and just like suck it into the fucking ooh, here you go. Guy's got big eyes, that's all I could say. That's what makes him a visionary. Because he saw a lot. More than most. Lately I've been adding red to the middle of where you get crusty shit in the morning. So, and then you just add a little bit of white. That's a portrait shit right there. Yeah. Makes it a little more believable. Hate outlining shit. Really, there's no need to. People go build an entire career of outlining shit. And the trick to painter bullshit, painterly shit, is to not outline. Just go for contrast without. It's a major step if people could lay off the line and just leave shit blurry. It gives it the illusion that it's a legitimate painting as opposed to a photograph or an illustration. What do I know? This shit's drier, so we could just like use a layering to add those whites in. With his big fat face. Add more purples. Because, I don't know, you're working with the psychology of this man, basically, and it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Kind of douchey McDoucherton, if you ask me. But, we're all control freaks in our own way, I suppose. I like that. But I like the purple, too. We'll just go with the nose. make that nose stick out. I know to some people, if they're really good, they could just make that nose red somehow and make it stick out. That's amazing to me. And so we go here, darker underpinnings. Pronounce that nose. Might as well just take it down. I haven't been really worshiping the references I should, but the guy's a cartoon, basically. I've never seen him. For those who have and have been blessed in his company, God bless you, but if anybody's going to be like, that's no Stanley. I knew Stanley, and that, sir, is no Stanley. Happy to meet you there. Okay. Just go for the harsh whites. I don't like to leave too much pencil because with these layers you got to just keep going over and over the same thing, and unless you concentrating really hard, you're going to forget where the hell that line was, and then it just turns into where you feel that line is, and that's when you call it getting lucky to actually look fucking legit, you know. Might as well just bring that purple forward, pronounce the nose, and then make that. I think we're going to get Boogie in. Maybe we'll return. We'll keep you updated with this finished product. The show opens, I believe, September 8th. So this needs to be done and in the mail very soon. So that's what we're doing. Masters Lowbrow 3.5.